Obviously, there's been a lot of attention with some of the comments that President Karzai made today about the U.S. and the Taliban being working in concert on violence to show that the Afghan people there would be trouble when the U.S. forces leaving. What did he say to you about those comments? Did you ask him about them? And do you think this signals sort of a fracture in U.S.-Afghan relations?
We did discuss those comments. I told the President it was not true that the United States was unilaterally working with the Taliban in trying to negotiate anything. The fact is, any prospect for peace or political settlements, that has to be led by the Afghans. That has to come from the Afghan side. Obviously, the United States will support efforts if they are led by the Afghans to come to some possible resolution, if that eventually evolves. I don't know. I've always believed that it is wise for nations to engage, to reach out. That doesn't mean you are prepared to negotiate. It may never get to that point. But I think it's far preferable than war. And these are complicated issues. These are not easy issues to deal with. So, yes, we talked about it, and that essentially summarizes what I said.
Mr. Secretary, you said that you told Mr. Karzai that he should call you in case of a problem. What do you think of the fact that he made his comments public before even meeting you?
Well, you'd have to ask him that question, and I don't answer for the President. But I know these are difficult issues for President Karzai and the Afghan people. And I was once a politician, so I can understand the kind of pressures that especially leaders of countries are always under. So I would hope that, again, we can move forward, and I have confidence we will, and deal with these issues.
Chris.
When you told him that this was not true, what he said, what was his response? Did he take it back? Did he waffle? Did he restate what he said? And secondly, you mentioned these are difficult issues. What are the issues specifically that you're referring to?
Well, I don't share confidential discussions with heads of state. The difficult issues, I think, are quite obvious. When a nation would be at any time looking at the possibility of engaging an enemy that there's still a war with, that's difficult. And it's complicated. On what basis would you initiate? How would that initiation come about? So I think it's pretty obvious what the difficulties and the complications are, any of these kinds of big issues. Yes.
Bill. You mentioned your comments about his comments on the reconciliation issue, but what about the question that was raised before about his comments on the U.S. acting in concert, or the Taliban violence serves the United States? Was that issue discussed as well, or was it only the comments about reconciliation?
No, we talked about the entire universe of that statement.
Because General Dunford kind of suggested that, after all the years of fighting and dying, to suggest this would be, kind wondering.
Yeah. General Dunford's right, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense, it seems to me. But again, I spoke clearly and directly, as the President did, on this issue, and I think he understands where we are and where we've been, and hopefully where we're going together.
Chris.
Just had a quick question. General Dunford, when asked if in good conscience the U.S. could transfer prisoners from U.S. control to Afghan control, with the comments that President Karzai has made saying that he believes some of them are innocent and he has promised to release them, that if any potential prisoners were considered dangerous, then the U.S. would not conduct that transfer. Do you agree with those comments from General Dunford, and do you believe the same way?
Absolutely. Now, force protection is essentially the bottom line, and I think our country has always been quite clear on that issue. So General Dunford's comments, I think, were exactly right, and I agree.
David. Isn't it kind of amazing at this point in the war, 12 years on, that the President can make the kind of comments he made today? You know, essentially questioning the motives of the U.S., which has spent billions of dollars and thousands of lives to defend his country, among other reasons we're here. I mean, do you find that astonishing?
Well, like I said, I addressed that issue rather directly with the President.
And we have time for one more.
Did you make any headway on any of the substantive issues on Parwan, on Wardak, on this new issue he raised with this executive order barring ISAF personnel from going on campuses? Any substantive progress?
Well, the objective of our meeting tonight and dinner was not that. We discussed every one of those issues in some detail. And as you all know, those issues are continuing to be worked through the ambassador and General Dunford. And I reinforced with the President U.S. policy on this. And I thought we had on each of these issues. And I thought it was a pretty clear, direct conversation. I have great confidence in our leaders who are engaged directly on this with the President and his representatives in Cabinet.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So, go to bed early tonight. We're going to Germany. Thank you.
Thank you.